And I want to take you to this. The Madlanga Commission will resume hearings for the year tomorrow by continuing where they left off last year, which is phase 2. It will deal with the evidence of implicated persons. The Commission is probing allegations of criminality, political interference and corruption in the criminal justice system following a media briefing by KwaZulu-Natal top cop Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi in July last year, which placed the criminal justice system into the spotlight and not for good reasons. The allegations, which implicated the Minister of Police, who is now on leave of absence, high-ranking SABC officials and the judiciary, would lead to the establishment of the Commission of Inquiry. We're going to be having a conversation right now with Jeremy Micheals, who is the spokesperson for the Commission, who's with us in studio. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it.
Good afternoon, Oliver. Good to be in studio with you.
Phase 1 report has been handed to the President. Did the Commission receive feedback back from the President of any sorts, notes, further questions?
Well, let me say that ours was to deliver on the 17th of September the interim report to President Ramaphosa. That, of course, came exactly 3 months from the 17th of September when General Mkhwanazi first appeared before the Commission. And of course, that followed, as I think you said, his 6 July press conference where he made the initial allegations. I can't speak on behalf of the presidency. I'm sure you may want to approach the presidency in that regard. But what I can say is that the Commission over the next few weeks and months will continue to pursue its mandate as outlined in the terms of reference issued by the President last July.
Actually, let's go through those terms of reference once again, in case some people may have forgotten exactly what they were. And there were several areas of inquiry that the President asked the Commission to look into. It was SABC at a national level, but it was also what was going on in the city of Johannesburg, city of Ekurhuleni, and other state functionaries in the criminal justice system. Talk us through some of those terms of reference so that we can know in what the confines are and the limitations are of the Commission.
Indeed, as you say. In fact, the terms of reference are quite wide. It's very broad. We, at our very first media briefing last July, spoke to the fact that the terms of reference will require quite a bit of time because of its scope. You've mentioned some of the entities, the law enforcement agencies that are within the purview in terms of the terms of reference. But let me say that the Commission over the 3 months that we sat from 17 September last year, only touched on a few of the aspects of the terms of reference. So, of course, that included the issue of disbandment, which the disbandment of the Political Killings Task Team, the PKTT, which is where we left off on the in the last week of hearings, the last day having been the 5th of December. With, of course, Minister Senzo Mkhunu on the stand. And I'll come back to that in a second. We spent quite a bit of time on the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department and the various allegations and individuals concerned there. But as you say, JMPD, Tshwane, Johannesburg, Tshwane Metro Police Departments are still within the scope. The State Security Agency, and of course, crime intelligence very specifically was mentioned in the terms of reference, the National Prosecuting Authority, and a number of other law enforcement agencies. So over the next few weeks and months, the Commission will continue to delve into, to inquire into the very, very seriously grave allegations of criminality, corruption and political interference in those law enforcement agencies.
Yeah. I want to ask a logistical question. And I would assume that over the holiday period, the Commission and its staff would have thought very deeply about this, very specifically given the tone with which things ended in 2025 with the untimely assassination of Marius van der Merwe. And the Commission would have had to apply its mind to what further steps can we take to ensure the safety of witnesses. Now, I understand that Marius was offered witness protection, and the reporting is that he declined it on the strength that he runs a security company at the moment and can provide his own and at least to an extent protect himself. What are some of the concerns around witness protection that the Commission had to pontificate over the holiday period?
Let me just say that we would not want to get into the detail of what happened. The family is still in mourning, and we certainly don't think it's appropriate to get into that detail of what happened. The fact is that Marius van der Merwe appeared as witness D before the Commission. He was, as you say, brutally assassinated in front of his family, his wife and his 2 children, on the night of 5 December, as the Commission was still sitting on its last day for last year. What matters now, critically, is the measures that we are taking to ensure the safety and the protection of witnesses who are still to appear before the Commission. And in fact, some of those who appeared last year. Of course, those matters or that detail we can't get into, we can't divulge the detail for obvious reasons because it's about the safety. And you know, I have said previously that if there was anyone who doubted the danger and the risk involved in the work of the Commission, that was then laid to rest on the 5th of December. But practically, we met, and we did say publicly, we met, the Commission met with the NAT joints, the National Joint Security and Intelligence Structure. And we have, as you say, and as you can imagine, gone into great detail in terms of the measures that were in place, going back, looking at whether it was sufficient, what else could be done, and we will be doing our absolute utmost to protect witnesses. In fact, very interestingly, just within the next few days and weeks after Marius van der Merwe's assassination, we actually had more witnesses coming forward, which I think indicates...
That's fascinating, because you would assume that it would be a deterrent to some people who would want to come forward and share what they have.
No doubt. Clearly, there would be those intentions on the part of the bad guys, if I can put it that way. But as I say, it was very interesting that we actually had more witnesses coming forward, and that continues to be the case. And I think it's an indication of the fact that South Africans generally, and those individuals with information particularly, do want to see the Commission succeed in getting to the bottom of the allegations.
Does the Commission have time frame concerns?
We did say, to go back to the point I was making earlier, at the very first media briefing we hosted, we said that the terms of reference are so broad
that it could go on forever.
Well,
ultimately,
not forever.
Yeah.
I mean, but we did have concerns with the timeline. So, in fact, I think it was on the 26th of November, the President did amend the terms of reference, specifically with regard to the timeline. But that then made provision for the Commission to adjust its start date, which was initially the 23rd of July when the proclamation was issued. It adjusted the start date to 17 September, which is why we then delivered the interim report on the 17th of December. And the final report, as matters stand, is due on the 17th of March. But I should say that there's a lot that we need to cover still.
The statutory framework does enable the Commission to make an application for an extension, and I very strongly assume that that might be under consideration if more witnesses are coming forward and they need to be given a chance.
And it is provided for in the terms of reference, and of course that's the President's prerogative, and the Justice Madlanga will engage in that regard because clearly there's a lot of work that still needs to be done.
Yeah. Phase 2 gives those who have been implicated an opportunity to appear before the Commission to respond to some of the things that have been said about them. And typically, such people would like an opportunity to, at least cross-examine those who made the allegations about them. And of course, they have the privilege of having legal counsel for the purposes of that. Have you received such applications just yet, by the way? And do you have a sense of how many witnesses will be appearing at least within Phase 2, or at least a ballpark figure? Of course, that number can change.
So we continue to run the new phase, Phase 2, simultaneously alongside Phase 1 because, and just to recast, Phase 1 was about the airing of the allegations, starting with General Mkhwanazi, and then there were 28 other witnesses who appeared in Phase 1. Phase 2 is about the implicated parties essentially coming to reply to those allegations, to come and answer to those allegations. And Phase 3 will then see some of the original witnesses who were making the allegations, including General Mkhwanazi, coming back because, of course, there are counter-allegations that have been made against him and them. But importantly, there are quite a number of people who, aside from having come forward late, but there continues to be information or allegations that need to be aired as part of Phase 1. So we are continuing with that, but our focus is squarely on Phase 2. And as part of that, tomorrow, as I was saying, we will continue with the theme of the disbandment of the PKTT.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that Minister Mkhwanazi will be back on the stand tomorrow, no, but we will continue with that theme tomorrow. And generally, we don't announce who or which witnesses will be appearing when, but it is public knowledge that Major General Nhlanhla, the KZN head of the Hawks, will be appearing on Tuesday, this Tuesday, the 27th, because remember that last November he appeared briefly, and Justice Madlanga ordered that he appear on the 27th. He was meant to submit his witness statement by the 16th. There was some delay in that, but he has submitted his witness statement, and he will be appearing on Tuesday.
Yeah. Jeremy, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Jeremy Micheals is the spokesperson of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. We're going to take a break. We'll continue on the other side of this.